So World Cup has a serious problem, but no, it isn't a camera falling down ready to KO your winger. We're just 24 hours away from a tournament, and there is still drama around people not being allowed into the country. The most viral example is most definitely Omar Artan, who was denied entry just 5 days before the tournament, which he was meant to officiate in. He was received well when he arrived home, bless him, but being denied entry just a week before is actually insanity. Now, the US has said that this is due to his association with an extremist group, but Artan has denied this, and in fairness, there isn't substantial evidence. I don't know, man, let me know what you think in the comments, but right now it looks like America forgot that they paid for this to happen to their country. Other than Artan, several of the Iranian staff, including the photographer, have been denied access completely into the United States. But in my opinion, the most unforgivable aspect is fans not being able to travel to the World Cup, because that's what it's all about. Over the past few weeks, there have been genuinely more stories than I can imagine of people not being allowed to travel to the World Cup, and in my opinion, that is just so unfair. But yeah, imagine just being completely restricted from watching your team play. Like, it's just out of order, to be honest. Even if you're accepted, the hassle to actually enter the country is just as bad. I've seen this picture of De Bruyne getting his shoe checked circulating on social media, and listen, I understand his right foot is known to be deadly, but he isn't a threat to human life, I swear. Unless your name's Thibaut Courtois, but we all know what happened there, so it's kind of justified. Jokes aside, the actual contrast between how teams are being welcomed into the US compared to Mexico is just I can't believe it. People landing in the US where ICE are literally spawn camping their planes to do some the standard checks on you. But over in Mexico, you get greeted with a cultural band, which is what the World Cup's about. Go express your culture, go have some fun, don't reduce people's chances to enjoy your nation. Honestly, just let Mexico host the World Cup at this point. I've tried their new Doritos flavour, and to be honest, that sold it to me alone. If you haven't tried them yet, please go and buy them, jokes aside, they actually bang. At the end of the day, the most beautiful aspect of the World Cup is undoubtedly culture, and reducing this is just really counterintuitive. I don't know how you can pay money for this to happen and just be like, no one's coming in, no, it makes no sense, quite frankly. Genuinely going to go from massive crowds of people wearing orange bouncing for the Netherlands to, well, whatever the hell you can call this.
Because we support the US, that's the way we like it, we love it.
Yeah, these terrifying ultras are going to be everywhere in this tournament, so if you are travelling, I just need to say be careful. As if restricting visas already isn't enough to reduce the people who can come, the costs genuinely push it over the line. I mean, it's already a stretch charging upwards of $1,000 for tickets, but you and I both know that isn't the maximum extent they'll go to make money. All you have to do is look at their ban on water bottles to understand that this whole tournament is profit driven. I genuinely don't understand the problem if I want to bring this to a football game. On top of this, you can't even refund tickets, which please someone comment and make that make sense. You're telling me that people are buying tickets, going to America, being denied access, and they're not even allowed to refund it. Don't even joke. That's pushing it. That is pushing it. This is just going to stop so many fan bases coming, and honestly, the atmosphere of the World Cup, I can't see it being there this year. I can't we have actually come this far without even mentioning the half-time show, because that's probably one of the worst parts, in my opinion, for entertainment value. Listen, I do understand that FIFA desires to implement something, cultural to the US, like the half-time show. But personally, I'm going to be sticking to the BBC punditry. I'm not sure about you, but I definitely will be. I mean, when you're weighing up Shakira, Madonna, and BTS against the likes of Shearer, Mika Richards, Olivier Giroud, I think I know the trio that I'm personally going to stick with for my 15 minutes. I do just want to quickly mention that this halftime show is for charity, which does add, a little bit of redemption to it, but it's a bit, counterproductive charging $1,000 for tickets and then, the halftime shows for charity type thing. It doesn't align really, and personally I just think it's some stunts to get away with implementing the halftime show. Whilst we're on the topic of the Americanization of this FIFA World Cup, I do think I need to mention the drinks breaks. Now don't get me wrong, the lads should be able to have some swigs of water whenever they need during a game that will probably exceed 30-degree heat on several occasions. That's why I'm not against the drinks break in the slightest in isolation, but personally, the fact they're showing advertisements during it just reveals their true intentions. It's just going to make it just as commercial as the Super Bowls, and halftime's already awkward. I do not want to have 5 breaks interrupting the game, especially considering these games are going to be like 2 a.m. I'm already going to be on the verge of sleep. 2 a.m. is not going to help me whatsoever, I just want to make that clear. It's absolute nonsense, mates, and 2 a.m. plus adverts for me is just going to knock me out. This is what the World Cup's going to do to people. Above all, the least that I can ask for is that the country who is doing all of these scandalous things has at least a bit of interest in football. But no, their football culture is next to zero. They call it soccer, they're dog shit. I mean, the fact their greatest player of all time is Christian Pulisic is quite telling. One thing that really tickled me earlier is that the Switzerland camp actually got a warning about rattlesnakes in their facility. It's so funny seeing that they genuinely have red zones that they're banned from entering. I mean, if you see Manuel Akanji rocking up to the Qatar game with like a swollen arm, you know what it is, a rattlesnake's got to him. But what's even more funny is that the Norwegian team have the audacity to complain about their situation. After requesting a camp with a golf course on it, FIFA allowed Norway to train there. However, it has been warned to the Norwegian team that there are snakes within the, the rough grass out of bounds areas, and if a golf ball goes there, teammates should not obtain it if they want to keep their life. Now, one of their players actually came out and said they are not happy about this. They need to switch places with the Swiss team because they've not got it bad whatsoever. I'm sure if they run out of golf balls, Erling Haaland can pull out his bank account and, come in clutch. Almost as easy as it is for you to subscribe, because as bad as all this is, I'm still going to watch pretty much every game. And for you, that means a new World Cup video every 2 days, giving you the updates, everything you need, so I don't see why you shouldn't subscribe.